And welcome back to Daily Wrap. Let's check in with the insatiable Steve Malzberg and see what he has planned for the evening. Stevie.
All right, Joe, coming up, exclusive interview with Ben Carson. He will talk about Donald Trump. Will he be Donald's VP? Will Donald be his VP? And he has something to say about CNN as well. Then Larry Kudlow will be here to help make sense of the market fluctuation and the big sell-off today. Also, Roger Stone, the Malzberg panel. It's all next, 7 p.m. Eastern, right after the Daily Wrap.
All right, we will stick around for that. There are reports that Hillary Clinton might have a second email server. As you know, the first server was handed over to the FBI by the Clinton campaign, he said, after it was wiped clean by a cloth not quite known. Now, with the possibility of a second server, perhaps there is a chance the DOJ and the FBI can recover some of the information the Clintons didn't want America and the world to see. We're now joined by Washington Examiner reporter, that's Sarah Westwood. She's in Washington, D.C., who has been covering this story. Welcome, Sarah.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, tell us what we currently know in this ongoing saga.
Well, we know that there's potentially a second server because the Clinton campaign and the company that managed Hillary Clinton's emails have given conflicting dates as to when the data was moved off that server. The Denver-based company that managed Hillary Clinton's emails since 2013 say they migrated all the data off that server in June of that year. And so the question is, well, where did that data go 2 years ago?
I'm a little confused, Sarah. Just because I don't really understand. Is there another date that somebody said when it was taken off the server, or?
Yep. Right. Hillary Clinton said that she erased all the data in January of this year. So,
oh, okay.
Right. So that it was potentially duplicated. It was in perhaps 2 places before that.
Sarah, what do you make of the argument that we hear from Clinton surrogates that are on, the Sunday shows, as I saw again this weekend, that say, well, Colin Powell had a private email and Condi Rice had a private email. So what makes this different from Hillary Clinton? And the obvious answer is they didn't have servers in their homes and then eventually in bathrooms in Denver. And I'm just surprised that they continue to go with that particular defense, because it seems, if the numbers are any indication, nobody's buying it.
Exactly. They occasionally used personal emails for government business when they shouldn't have. That's something that a lot of Americans can probably relate to. Nobody else ever set up a server in their house to host all of their government communications away from the public eye. I mean, that's just unprecedented. There were no rules against it because the government had never even imagined that was even a possibility before this happened.
Sarah, it's Rick Unger. I kind of want to go back to this 2 email server thing. Is the only evidence we have is discrepancies in those descriptions you're pointing out, or is there anything else other than, I mean, I don't know, my first thought wouldn't be 2 servers. My first thought would be the right hand and the left hand are saying different things. It could be 2 servers, it could be more, but I'm wondering if there's any other evidence to back that up than just some mistakes or different points of view of what people said.
Well, right, we don't know whether or not there are 2 servers. We just know that the data was migrated in 2013, and we don't know where it was migrated to. If it was migrated to another server and then Hillary Clinton kept the emails on the one the FBI now has, she could have had them in 2 places and only erased one, and then everyone here would be telling the truth. No one would be lying. So we really just don't know until, the FBI does a little bit more digging here.
Yeah, Sarah, this is Bill Tucker. This is a difficult story because there's a lot of potentials and maybes and possibles in it. But at some point, one would assume that these emails from Mrs. Clinton were backed up somewhere. Could the confusion here be that the second server is basically the cloud, the backup server for her emails? Is that a possibility?
Right. I mean, there are many number of possibilities of where the emails could possibly be. It's just a problem because we now know that those emails contain classified information all the way up to top secret. So it's no longer just a matter of, curiosity of where the emails are. It's a matter of potentially national security, because we know that that classified information needs to be stored in a secure environment.
Absolutely. Well, Sarah Westwood, Washington Examiner, thanks so much for coming on. We appreciate it from Washington today.
Thank you.
Okay. One other point I want to bring up, and I want to go to you on this, Hanson. The State Department seems to really be stonewalling here on, well, we're getting around to getting you the rest of those emails. And it's as if Mrs. Clinton still works there, except she doesn't. And no one really talks about the fact that the State Department hasn't exactly been forthcoming.
Well, judges are talking about it. I mean, you know, we've talked about this months ago, and I've always said that the legal system is going to force this to a close. You know, the judges are not happy with the State Department, and it's true. They are stonewalling the same way that Mrs. Clinton is.
But aren't you a little uncomfortable with this leap? I mean, normally if you find a discrepancy like that, and that's good reporting if she did, you go and you say, guys, how do you explain this discrepancy? Before you make the leap to the fact, hey, there might be a second server out there. That's kind of really blowing it up, isn't it?
She's not answering those questions. I mean, sure.
No, but she hasn't asked those questions.
But who's going to answer them? Is Hillary Clinton going to answer them? She doesn't answer a single
that's not
question.
One national
That
interview
is not
since she
how
announced her
reporting
campaign.
works.
One.
If you ask the questions, they don't answer, you report they didn't answer. But she hasn't asked them.
So, let's ask you, did Hillary Clinton break the law? Let us know at newsmaxpolls.com. Coming up, did Joe Biden pick his running mate? We've got that next.